Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Code with Alex. In today's video, we are going to learn how to install Linux on Android. So today I am going to tell you how to install Kali Linux, which is a version of Linux operating system, and I am going to tell you the reason why I have decided to choose Kali Linux instead of any other Linux operating systems. And I am also going to do it without without the need to root your mobile phones. So I'm focusing on this part without the root because I have gone on internet and YouTube and watched many videos and some websites also where they tell you that you have to root your mobile phone in order to install any Linux operating system on your mobile phone. But I have found a way in which rooting your Android phone is not required for installing an operating system, any kind of operating system on your Android mobile phone. As you all know that now newer and newer versions of Android are coming. So in these newer versions, rooting your Android phone is getting harder and harder because they are creating many patches from by which you are not able to root your mobile phone very easily. So it is not as easy task to do nowadays anymore. Hence, I am going to tell you this way to do it without rooting your phone. So now I am going to tell you about some of the reasons that why you would require Linux operating system in your Android mobile phone. Okay, the first reason is simple. Linux is Linux. Android is also a Linux based operating system, but it is not open source, whereas Linux is an open source operating system in which you can make changes according to your own and customize your own very own operating system. That's why it has been very famous till now. And other reason is also that Android also does not support different kinds of programs. It only supports .apk format programs, which are your common apps. Hence, to run different kind of programs, you will require a Linux operating system through which you can run different kind of programs like .bat files, .exe files, or .deb, .rmp, many different files which you can run through Linux. Okay, now the second reason is in Android you will get apps. The apps are applications which are hard code and in which you cannot do any modifications or any specifications according to your own, any customizations according to your own. But whereas in Linux you will get recent programs and open source programs. In Linux you will get recent programs related to programming, like you want to do programming in Python, then you will get newer versions of Python. They will be updated regularly on Linux. Whereas if you will install an app, which I have shown you in the previous video, that you can install some apps which uses Python and you can program with Python using those apps and also other languages. But the problem in that is that they gets outdated very soon and no one is there to update them for a year or two. It means they get updated very late. Whereas in Linux, all these programs and all these languages are being updated on a regular day-to-day basis, which is very beneficial for programmers to learn who want to learn new things and implement them in their codes. Okay, the third important reason is that in the previous video also I told you how to do programming in Python in your Android mobile phones. Now I have shown in some apps in the last video, but there is a catch to that, because Python is very famous because of its vast number of libraries. Now it has some of the libraries which do not support Android version, like Skippy, cryptography, Selenium. These are libraries which requires a desktop environment to work. Hence, this Linux operating system makes it easy for you to use these libraries inside your programs. So whenever you want to install these libraries inside your program, you can go to your installed operating system and use these libraries. And when you are programming for normal programs which do not require these special libraries, then you can do your normal programming in those apps also. So it gives you an additional feature for programming in Python. And the fourth and most important reason is it actually kind of looks cool. Yes, you can go and tell your friend that look, I have got a PC installed in my Android. Technically this is not correct, but it does sound cool. So you can do a little show off in front of your friends. So now enough with the theory part, we'll go on to the practical part. So to install Linux in your Android mobile phone, you are going to require 3 apps. So we'll go to Play Store and see them one by one. The first one is And Linux. As you can see, it is an app which run Linux on Android without root access. As you see, I have already installed it, so now we are going to go for the second app, which is Termux. Now I have already told you about this app in my last video. It is an app which provides your command Linux command shell for you in your Android mobile phones. This is also I have installed it. So now moving on to the third app, that is VNC Viewer. We will go to VNC Viewer. Now this app is required for you to install a desktop version of your Linux operating system. Now all three apps are installed. Now we'll go to running them. Now we will open our first app, that is Linux. Now then we will go to dashboard, and then we will select an distro, that is we will select, there are multiple distros in this, that is Ubuntu, Debian, Kali Nut Hunter, Backbox, Fedora, CentOS, OpenSUSE, Arch Linux, Black Arch, Alpine. Many are there, but we are interested in Kali because in the beginning also I told you that Kali is best for us, because in this Kali you will find that on online there are also many YouTube tutorials and videos and courses for learning penetration testing, Wi-Fi security, Wi-Fi penetration, and all these are done on Kali Linux because it is an operating system which supports penetration testing. Hence all the new programs which are made according to this distro only. Hence we are going to select Kali. As it will also be helpful to us in future when we can also use this to learn ethical hacking course on Android mobile phone. Now we will copy this code and then we will launch Termux. After that we will make a new directory. After that we will go to this new directory. Now we are going to paste the command that we have copied from the Linux app. Now it's going to take some time because it's going to be a large file, and we will wait for it to be complete. Now as you can see, it is completed, and you can read that you can now launch Kali with /startkali.sh script. Now we will check what all directories are there and files are there. Okay, now you can see that there are two directories. One is Kali binds and one is Kali fs. Kali fs is Kali file system, in which you find all the file system which you can find in a Linux operating system. Let's go to Kali fs. Like you can see, bin, dev, home, media, opt, root, sbin, sys, user, where, temp, all these directories which are found in a Linux operating system. Now we will again go back. Now we are going to launch our Kali with the command which is given there by running this script. Okay, as you can see, we can see that now you are root at that localhost. Okay, let me check my present working directory. It is root, and let me check who am I. Root account. You can see that file system which you're talking about. Hence let's log out from it, exit. Now we are log out. Now check who am I. Now you can see that we are the normal Android user, U08300, some ID which has been given to Android users. Every one of you will have different ID here, but when we have logged into that Kali operating system, then we were a root account there. Hence you can see that we have successfully installed the Kali operating system on our Android mobile phone. We will again go back to it by running the script. Okay, now you can see that we have installed a terminal based operating system. Now we also want to install its desktop environment. Now for doing that, we'll again have to go back to and Linux. Now you will go to this option menu, and then you can see that there are further options here. You can get a desktop environment or get a heavy desktop environment. In desktop environment you will get normal basic files and basic graphics, but whereas in heavy desktop environment you will get better graphics and more programs already inside it, but it will be of large size. So we are going to go with desktop environment. If you want to go with heavy D, it's your choice. You can go, nothing is going to change, the process will remain the same. Now we are going to choose Kali. As we have installed Kali, we are going to choose Kali. If you have installed Ubuntu or Debian, you can choose any of them. Moving ahead, we are going to choose our interface. We are going to choose XFCE4, which is recommended, and then again we are going to copy the command which has been given to us. We are going to launch it, and now first make sure that you are logged into Kali operating system. Then paste this command and wait for it to install your desktop environment. It's going to take some time, so it is going to take a very long time, around 15 or more minutes depending upon your data speed. After that it will install many packages and unpack them, then you will get this option. Now you will have to type a password to access your desktops. You can type it anything according to your own interest, then press enter, then verify that password. And one more thing, that in Linux systems, when you type your password, then it does not show dots or any stars like they do in Windows system. So don't worry if you don't see anything, you just press enter, it is being typed. Why? Okay, type it anything. Okay, now it is set. Now all you have to do is just type this command, that is vnc-server.start. Now again this is same thing. You have got this desktop environment. Earlier you have seen that these desktop downloads, pictures, all these were not available. Now all these folders are available. So again, for now to see it in your, now again you are still seeing it in this command line version. Now to see your desktop version, you have to just start this VNC server using this command, VNC server.start. I will copy it, then I will paste it here. Okay, it is already saying that a VNC server is already running as one. So now we will go to our home menu. Then now we are going to come to the third app which we have installed, that is VNC Viewer. We will open it. Now in that, now we'll have to create a new connection for this. So as you have seen, local host, in address we are going to type this and 1. Okay, now computer name you can type Kali and you will create it. It's created. Now all you have to do is just press this connect. We have to connect to it. It is connecting. Okay, now we have to insert the password which you have set for your desktop. Mine was this, and then continue. So okay, you might also see this error. It is saying that it is failed to execute child process dbus launch. So for this we are going to go to Termax, and then again we are going to install this apt-get install dbus x11 package. Okay, it is going to take some time to install this package and then unpack this package. So whenever you face any such problems during installing anything or installing any package or anything, my first advice to you is that you should go to internet and search for it. because it might be there the same error has been faced by someone else, and he might have asked some this question on the internet, and someone must have answered it. So most probably you will find your answers there on internet. There are many good sites which provide good answers. So now let us again stop the VNC server. VNC server stop. Okay, now we will again start the VNC server. VNC server start. Okay, now we are going to close it. We are going to close the connection, disconnect, then again connect. And as you can see, this time it's connected. So you can see in front of your eyes that we have installed the Kali Linux desktop version. Here you can see this is home directory. In this home directory you can see all those file desktop documents, and this is the dapt xfc 4.sh which we have installed from nlinux. You can go to applications here, open a terminal, okay. In this terminal now we will press, now we will get a keyboard, we will press ls and see it is working perfectly. Who am I? You can check this also. You name a Linux localhost, ask Linux. Then you can go back and then see these directories, bin, dev, home, everything is there. We will close it. So now you can see that we have been able to install Linux on our Android mobile phone. First of all, we have installed basic terminal version, then we have installed our desktop environment from the nlinux app. And while installing it, if you face any other problem, then you can tell me those problems in the comment, and I will try to resolve those for you. But as I said earlier, you can also go and search on internet. There are many good sites like GitHub and Stack Overflow. These provide very good answers to most of the questions. You will find that most of your questions have been already answered by someone. Still, if there are some queries from your site, I am there for you. You can drop your queries in the comment section and I will be there to help you. And in the end, I would like to say, please subscribe to my channel Code with Alex and like this video. Press the like button and comment to tell me how has this been helpful to you or not. Thank you and have a nice day. And please don't forget to subscribe the channel.